Welcome to Crimson Guitars. Now, we do a lot of videos on how to build guitars, and we've got a Guitar Builders Basics series, and this sort of falls into both categories. It's fairly basic, although we're going to go into it in more depth, and it's not quite about guitar building. We've done a video on the very basics of how to sharpen your hand plane and your chisel, and it's all about turning a burr over. Now, we are going to attack today the humble gouge. Not something that you will use particularly often, but when you need it, and you will need it sharp. And it's something that a lot of people don't really know how to do. I've picked up a few tricks over the years, and the one I'm going to show you today was taught to me by the chap who taught me how to build violins, and I was made to not quite promise, but I was led to believe that it was a proprietary secret, so don't tell anybody else. Now, first of all, we start off with our water stones. I prefer water stones to oil stones. I find they work faster and get a better quality surface much easier. And yes, if you don't have any water stones, get yourself some. So, onwards. Now, I have a box that is sealed and full of water, and it has all of my water stones in it all the time. They should be soaking so that when you require them, they are ready to use. Obviously, what I use more than anything else are the nice big flat ones, and I've got a 1200 grit, an 800 grit, and then a 3, 4, 5000 grit. I can't remember which one it is particularly. I think it's actually 6000. Very fine grade stone, and that is used for the final polish. While you're working, you will also need to keep your stone saturated. Incidentally, these are available at car boot sales all over the place, and they work much better than your standard boring plastic ones, which tend to clog up with dust and rubbish and die rapidly. Anyway, as is the case with chisels, what you need to do is you need to flatten one side and then flatten the other, then flatten one side, flatten the other, and that will turn a burr. I will draw a chisel. Okay, and I'm going to try and do this backwards. As you use your water stone to flatten that edge, it turns a very minuscule burr, it's called, of steel up onto that end. Now, that goes up and goes up, then you move over and you flatten this side, and that snaps that burr off, which creates a sharp edge. And then as you keep on going, it makes a minuscule burr going the other way, which you then snap off, making an even finer edge. This is the exact same process on this angle here of your gouge. It's the same process in a hand plane or even a knife, although knives tend to have that shape and it's much more difficult to do by hand. However, this lovely little gouge is something I picked up. I've never used it before. It's a little bit pitted, a little bit old, but it's a JB Addis, I think. Yeah, Addis & Son, Sheffield, beautiful old steel, and will be really nice. Now, that is a 1200 grade stone, and seeing as I've never sharpened this gouge before, so that ended up with a little bit of crud on it, I am going to start with the 800. This is the basic and easy section. Effectively, I am gauging the angle that I need to hold this at, and you start the process and figure it out. Now, the chap that has sharpened this beforehand had a different angle to me, but it's not a problem. So this is the easy bit. I am basically turning the edge over, and with my finger I can already feel the burr starting to form on the inside edge. As you can see, I'm holding it, 2 fingers there, thumb behind, finger there. I'm even holding it with the palm of my hand here, and that is to give me as much stability as I possibly can have while I start this process. And you just rock and move, and I'm trying to use as much of the stone as I possibly can so I don't sharpen a channel into my stone. There is another way. There are always many, many ways. The other way is this. Now this little thing already has set radius gouges cut into it, and again, that's a little bit cruddy. I need to change the water in my stone bath. Okay, now if you've got one of these, you can find the channel that suits, and this is really good because it's swifter. So I have been going at that for quite a while now, and I've got the correct angle, or the angle that I prefer, which is about 35 degrees. Now there is a slight burr on the inside of the gouge. It is not perfect because the surface in here isn't perfectly smooth. So it is on to the clever bit, or another clever bit. I've got a bunch of these. They are called slipstones, and effectively it is a wedge-shaped stone in various grits or grades, and that, let me find the correct one, how's about that? That is used when wet to flatten off and clean up that surface. The last thing you want to do is go like that, because you will ruin your gouge effectively. Again, this is going to take a little while, seeing as this is a new gouge. Now I like to support this on the bit of wood and go like that. So slowly but surely we're cleaning up the inside of that and making a burr that goes over onto that edge. And now that we've got both happening quite nicely, you need to go to the standard process. You turn the burr you've just made over, and make one on that edge now, and then you remove that burr, that's gone, and it's on that side now, and so on and so forth. And this is how you sharpen, well, anything. And you can keep this up for as long as you like. Now basically this is the process that most people do, and this is how it ends. You can go progressively finer and it works perfectly fine. However, there is something else that can be done, and I'm going to show you that now. So water stones go away. We have a small piece of wood here. Now this is something relatively soft. This is a piece of Western red cedar. I've used, well, you're watching a video about how to sharpen hand tools. You know what wood is soft and what is not. Now, my chisel, I have sharpened it to the stage that most people would deem is okay. And it's cutting through all right. It's not perfect. Now, you use your gouge to gouge a channel which obviously will match the radius of your tool, and you use the other side to create a rounded over section. I'm not entirely sure what you'd call that. A cornice? Anyhow, alright, so we're still doing the same thing. We are still doing the same process. We're turning over a burr. It's just got finer. This is Autosol chrome polish. Phenomenal stuff. It is going to do the same thing that our stones were doing, and effectively polish our metal, and using the wood it's going to make I'm picking up all the dust. Let's get rid of that. Effectively, this is going to make an absolute mirror shine on our new gouge, our new old gouge. So that has been turning over a burr on that side, and very gently. Okay, that's, as you can see, it takes a little bit of getting used to find the right angle. If you go too far, you cut, which isn't a bad thing. It's just now effectively we have made a custom sharpening stone. And that is now taking a shaving. You can see the difference between when I tried to cut that initially. I was having to really dig in there. Now it's just carving it away. And I'm not finished yet. That inside section is not shiny enough. I'm going to go back to the stones for a little while to get it perfectly right. So I've been working away for about 15 minutes, removing the last of the pitting that was in there, and obviously turning over that burr, and I'm ready now to finish up. You can feel when you've reached the edge, or are just about to reach the edge, of it's a well, it's a fine balance here. We are honing a razor's edge here. And as you can see, you've got a mirror surface, and that, if we've done properly, that cuts with almost no effort whatsoever. That is, hell, it's leaving a smooth mirror surface on the wood, and that is how we sharpen gouges at Crimson Guitars. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the myriad of other videos, guitar building and guitar demos and all of that stuff. We appreciate it if you subscribe to our channel, and check out crimsonguitars.com. We've got a shop and all sorts of stuff. And yes, thanks for watching. Cheerio.